We're all waiting for you. That's what happens.
What I miss?
You're the last one here.
What did I miss? Oh, Slim's here too, huh?
Yeah.
What the fuck's he want?
What would you call it? Oh, the wagon.
What, your old wagon?
My old wagon.
I think that one's in a little better shape than yours.
Yeah, mine was pretty bad. It was pretty beat up. It was time for me to...
Here's Lados' new wagon.
Whose is that?
Lados'
Oh, okay. That's nice.
$720. It's expensive.
Oh.
So who's here waiting?
Everyone but you.
Who?
Andy, Matt.
What's Matt want? Why is he here?
I don't know. I thought you invited him.
No.
Well, you must have told him you were here. Coming.
All right, so we're going to do the newbie today.
On what?
We're doing legs.
Oh.
So we're going to check this out and see if we can make these quads
Those
get
stilts?
a little more massive, you know. We're going to test it to make sure we can get your legs up for the Cutler Classic. Everyone's telling me how big you are, dude.
Who?
Everyone's telling me how big Dave is.
What did I tell you?
Everyone. You must be on
Speak loud enough, say we're back. Speak loud enough so I can hear
back, baby. But it's a quad day.
you. A little hiatus, yeah.
It's a quad day. So, not that he needs any more
We're going to
quads.
focus on my best body part. So we went from shoulders, which were my best, to deflated. Now we're going to do my quads, which were my best, deflated. So
Quads aren't really deflated, but we're going to pump these babies up.
I would love for you to train on arms one of these days because you hate arms, and I'd like to see how you feel on it. Yeah, yeah.
Roll them up. Let me get higher. Dude, you were sore on the, you weren't that sore. He's gonna be sore.
that's how hard I push. You know, I don't really push too hard on legs. So we're seeing more and more of the machines out there. I don't know how much you see floating around your gym, but we're seeing quite a bit now.
It's spreading.
And let's, for you guys that don't know, because I just had someone ask me, what does this thing actually work, or what does it do? Andy, kind of explain to our viewers what's going on here.
Yeah, so I can't speak on the other machines, but the Neubie, it's a FDA-approved neuromuscular re-education device. So what it is, it's what it was used for, designed for initially, was for athletes to come back like 10 times as fast from injury. So they incorporate in the NFL, MLB, various different sports teams have these on, their staff have these on hand. To if you tear an ACL, whether it's a joint reconstruction, muscle strain, any type of injury, they're using direct electrical current to get the nerves and muscle refiring back a lot faster. So the concept of using it for building muscle and hypertrophy is, okay, you put it on a dysfunctional muscle to get it responding faster. Okay, what if you put on a healthy muscle? So now you're going from activating, say you're activating 40-50% of muscle fibers on your own, to now you're kind of hacking your body into activating 80 to 90%, to the 80-90 percentile. So it works really well on a lagging body part, but if you put them on even a really good body part, it just makes it that much better. You're getting way more connection and way more muscle fiber recruitment.
Boom.
So the question is, do you train on this when you're by yourself sometimes?
I do. It's ideal. Ideally, you want somebody to train.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want somebody to use it with you.
Yeah.
Because it's just the only thing is, just like grabbing dumbbells or something
Yeah.
like that. Like I'll let my girlfriend operate it for me, but I put it on. I'm using here. Slide these through your boxer. Yeah, right side.
You get used to it.
3 times a week now. I do sometimes 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I always do. I mean, I really like because it takes away any type of knee pain I have. So I have 2 leg days, so I put it on my hamstrings, and I do it for quad day. So that's 2 days a week, and then same side, and then I vary between. Sometimes I do chest. I really like it on arms, or I do put it on shoulders.
Yeah.
I feel tingling like crazy.
Yeah.
Tingles?
Yeah, Remember, I only did step. Oh, that's pretty strong.
Yeah, so see, one will fight. Yeah, relax real quick. See?
Oh yeah.
So you said that one was more sensitive, right?
Yeah, this is the bigger leg.
Yeah, so see, okay, so that's a great example. Okay, so his left leg's bigger, so he probably has better recruitment in it. So you see right away, this starts firing. Within a second, the pads are on. So it's probably a technically a healthier tissue. But over time, if you know, because I work with guys with nerve injuries, or, everybody's got a side, If you're right-handed, you can usually contract your lat better than your left side. So during this workout, over time, we're going to get that right one firing just as good as the left one. So you can even switch. So say right now they're firing simultaneously at the same time. But if I wanted to, if there was a major discrepancy on each leg, I can switch channels and I can have a stronger signal on his right leg than his left leg to even it out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's a different uses for this. It's not just like, so it's good to work with a professional that someone that knows what because there's so much more to just tap in than just putting pads on it. It's just like cranking it.
It's crazy. I can feel it in my hamstring. I feel electric shock in my hamstring.
He may have to start competing after that again.
Okay, so let's do extensions. Oh, I'm so excited for this day. You have no idea.
You look excited.
Because he was like talking like, he's like, it kind of tickles on the shoulders, you know what I mean? Like we were cranking him high on the shoulders. But right now, because his legs his tissue's healthy in his quads.
Yeah.
His shoulders probably just have so much, from
scar
so much
tissue.
pressing. Scar tissue and stuff from decades of pressing.
Yeah.
But, we only have him in the 30s. This can go up to 100, so,
That feels like a lot. It actually scared me a little bit because I felt it. Really?
Yeah, it looked heavy. It looked heavy. Yeah.
Well, no, I was scared more. The weight's not heavy, but like what he's right now. Look at it.
Yeah. So.
And that's moving by itself.
Stop! You shake.
Look. Uh-oh.
Look at the camera came on, so we put the hoodie on. Dude, he's hiding the pump. Bro, you're hiding the pump.
Well, the Natty Peaks can't be revealed.
Hey, come do a cameo in the JTV. Tell them about the Goliath Nation.
What's up, JTV? Big Craig here. What's up? Got my boy Jay here, Big Andy, the Kings of Mass at Fit Club. Just want to say what's up. That's it.
All right.
I don't want to rip something.
That's the thing. You won't rip anything. Okay. It'll be the opposite. You're no strain of straining anything. Okay. Here we go. Go. 1, 2. Dude, look at the fibers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hold this one, Jay. Oh, good. How'd it feel?
That hurt.
Hurt in a good way, right?
Yeah. See, they made my legs tired,
Yeah. Can we do one more and do a drop set? Yeah. Drop set? Okay, so we'll stick with this weight. We're going to do a triple drop, and then we'll move on to, I'll explain later, but we'll move on to the reverse banded hack. All right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, let's get 20, Jay. 15, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more. 5.
How many here?
Well, now I'm switching real quick. I'm switching polarity, stronger signal to the VMOs, okay? Here we go. 1, you're gonna feel a little different. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That means 12 on the last one.
Here we go, last one.
How many?
15. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's gonna never want to trail with me again. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
Boom. Oh, it was like nothing. Still got the wheels.
I feel like you.
It's nothing that I created. I mean, you'll see a lot of guys lately on Instagram or YouTube reverse band this. But the concept is I'm going to hook up a band to the back. Okay, so the point of it is to take the torque. Think of like your patellas as like your brake pads. So when
Happy
you're all
birthday,
the way
bro.
at the bottom. So let me just show you. So we come down, hacks notorious, decently hard on the knees. Everybody, a lot of people get knees over hack. So as you're coming down, the band behind it is stretching. Okay, so it's way at the bottom. It's at the most stretched position, so it helps you kind of pull out of the pocket. So it's taking that torque right here off the knee. So you have to go obviously a little heavier, but it's a lot safer for the knees, longevity purposes.
Nice.
Do this or
Yeah, I've done.
with the band?
Yeah. We have it set up that way over there, but no one ever explained it.
So if you look at like if you see like the way Stan Efferdine bands, so he bands the opposite way, which is still, it's good, but he bands it tougher. So he bands like the leg press against the barbell.
So you're going,
And it's like, so when you're pressing,
Yeah.
pressing the band you're stretching the band as you're pressing. So
Yes.
that's really good to build strength. But this band is stretching while you're going down with the load. So each inch you're going down, it's taking off more poundages on the bottom of your knee. Because that's where, the hack is fine, like going 90, you want to get that full range. And right when you get at that bottom, that's where your patella is kind of in a vulnerable position.
Yes.
So we reverse band it. So it's pretty simple.
There you go.
And then I
I
like
don't
to
remember it being like that.
You've never used that before?
No, I have used the band, but not.
No, back in the day when you were competing.
No. I was a knucklehead, That's the thing. As you get older, you try to figure out like the smarter ways to do things, and like we have been training like this with the band in here to kind of take that resistance off the knees a little bit. But this is if I wanted to say one of my best exercises to build the legs was the hack squat.
You liked it?
Yeah. And as you know, I used to do a lot of plates on this, right?
Yeah.
So what I'll try to do is, remember, I'm not a guy that keeps my feet way up on the platform either. I'll try to stay a little lower. So whatever's kind of comfortable, just to kind of put pressure on the teardrops, right?
Yeah. Okay. You want to slide this behind you? Sure. Now this pad, certain hacks, every hack is different, Sometimes this hack tends to put a little pressure on your low back at the bottom. So I learned this from Charles Glass. I like to take, if we had longer pads, I'd like to stick a foam roller. You remember at Gold's how they would do the foam roller? Now you can, but these pads are so short that it wouldn't fit. He wouldn't be able to put his shoulders on. So I like to just take a small pad.
All right, so how many reps are we doing?
All right, well, let's just warm up with 12. It's going to be light.
Okay.
Because we got a pretty thick band on there. this kind of just tilts you a little forward, so it's one more.
You did that
emphasis on
before,
the
right?
quads. When your hips are tilted a little in, it shortens the hip flexors, and it's a little more emphasis on the quads. Also, it tends to take pressure off the low back.
Like a Charles Glass special.
What do you want to put on?
Another plate.
Another plate. Two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 1 more, 5. Good.
Tired legs. Am I ready?
Yeah. My eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jay, let him know.
6,
Jay, let him know you got it.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, let's go 20, 17. Ooh, there we go. 2 more. 1 more. All the way. Okay, rest, pause, rest. 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right, let's go 10 to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Come on, champ.
8, 9, 10, 11, 1 more. 20 more seconds. 1 more second.
More? You just added that one?
No, okay.
I thought you said 2. Say that again.
So he's feeling more. He's feeling his stronger leg more. So I'm going to send a stronger signal right now. So just do as many reps as you can, Jay. 3. I'm sending. If you look here, I have 2 channels set up. This is his right side. This is his left side. I'm sending a stronger signal to his right side. Let it feel right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 7, 8, 9, 10.
This one felt more. Sure.
Well, I started going up with that one as well, but it was just a little higher on the right. But not by much.
Yeah, I was just thinking as you were talking about you feeling your leg more on this. If you had been able to use this machine back in the day when you were still competing, if you think over time, it would have helped you with that imbalance.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things you never wanted to admit the imbalance, like on film or like
because you can't do
publicly,
anything
like,
about it.
Yeah, so I always had an imbalance in this leg. So it's a lot smaller than this, so it was dominant. And he was asking why. I casted my leg in high school. I broke my kneecap in a football injury. I wore a cast from my hip to my ankle. And back then, that's how they did it. And it twisted my knee. So when I started bodybuilding, I always had the discrepancy. And it seemed like I was able to stay away from like visible until we started seeing a lot more still pictures in on the internet. And that's when I started getting picked apart for it. So the question is would it, if I had worked with this machine
Long term.
15 years ago, what it would have done, you think?
It would have helped, right, Angie?
Well, I mean, he's had a similar injury, just the exact opposite of me. I had total patella reconstruction on my left leg. And so I can handle more signal on my left leg on the machine than my right leg. So a lot of times I will train it unilaterally. So like I was telling him, you know, as we've progressed in the workout, he's told me, I had him synced originally. He told me, you know, his left leg is still working more. He's feeling more of a pump in the left leg. So I'm like, okay, I separated your legs on channels, so let's run individual channels, and we're going to send a stronger signal to the right leg. So moving forward on workouts, that's where we would start with that right off the bat. So even doing you know, dual leg extension, one channel was going to be stronger than the other leg.
You compensate.
So we'll compensate by that to force, because this is a direct current, so it's sending a signal to your brain to force contractions into your legs. So it's forcing a harder contraction in your right leg versus you. I mean, it's always beneficial if you were trying to do it as well.
Yeah.
But it's making it a lot easier for you to get a better muscle-mind connection than I was telling him. You know, and then like on off days, like if he was training hamstrings, then you would do a hamstring and a right quad day. So you would do your full hamstring workout, your RDLs, your lying leg curls, everything. Then you would maybe get on the extension, hook up the machine to just your right leg, depending on, like if we're talking like an inch, 2 inch discrepancy, then yeah, I think that
2 inches is my difference in leg
Wow,
size.
that's a lot.
Yeah, at my peak.
Wow.
But like right now, my teardrop on this side is just really pumped up.
Yeah.
Where I'm not getting enough on the right leg. So we're gonna do a set. He's gonna crank up the right and lower the intensity on the right on the left
I
one.
like it.
And then maybe I could, maybe just to finish off, I'll peel the plates off, and if you want to do one set of just single leg press.
That's what I was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
So here's the left one, and then here we go with the right. Here we go. What we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Yeah, that turned it up. That turned it up.
You could tell
Oh,
the difference?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It fatigued it.
What'd you
I
do?
was screaming in pain.
What'd you do?
Well, I kept his. I changed the frequency.
I didn't even feel it in this leg.
Yeah, so I changed the frequency. I still want to get growth on the left leg, but I went to a higher frequency, which is a moderate contraction on his left leg. Went to a really low frequency, which is going to be a really hard contraction on his right leg. Then really increased the intensity percentage on his right leg, keeping the intensity percentage at a moderate rate on his left leg. That way, because it's almost like you still want to have something on the left leg. It's almost like you have a knee injury and you just wrap one knee. Well, then you're leaving the left knee vulnerable if you're just wrapping one.
Yeah.
So I still want to contract both legs because having a contract leg minimizes your risk for injury.
Yes.
Like you don't really hear of muscle strains or sprains or anything like that while you're on the machine because it's literally like you're flexing and moving. Here's your water.
Well, you really got to know that machine.
You know, so
It's like, it's not just turning buttons.
yeah. So
Yeah, nice.
So and then obviously as you train somebody more often, you know, the first couple of sessions, like I said, this is our first time training quads. We've trained a good amount of times. I've never trained his quads, so I'm starting to get to know what his quads can handle from a percentage of intensity wise.
Yeah.
So like if we were to train quads again, I know his right quad can handle 60, His left quad could not. It was
You have a
cramping
base
up.
now. Now
yeah,
you have
so
a
when I
base, yeah.
synced him, we were in the 40 percentile, like 40 to 47. And that was, he was just like shit, I'm cramping. So I don't want to go higher than that, because if you cramp so hard, then you won't be able to move your quads. But his right leg, seeing as, you know, there's been a prior injury to it, so maybe some form of dysfunction, it can handle a higher intensity on that one. So moving forward, we already know a game plan for the next workout.
That's interesting. Awesome.
Yeah. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, Big J, I'm curious to ask you, after doing legs so many years, so many times, first time doing it on a newbie, tell me the main difference on training this versus a regular way for you.
You know, I've always had my questions about using like newer technology, right? And I mean, we discuss this all the time. You know, I definitely felt the shoulders, like that really triggered a lot, especially because I don't get as pumped. And to be honest, like I don't train my legs hard enough to get a super pump lately, but I was super fatigued. I was super, like my muscles felt like weak. I felt to the point where I was going to failure, which I don't really fail to as often. So, you know, definitely something that was, I think I like, you know, especially for one of my better body parts. Like I'm not trying to grow my legs anymore, but like we talk about, the injury is a very important part of the process of people trying to improve, and people are always kind of hindered by those plateaus or those injuries. And I think that his explanation talk about, hey, you know, he has another one with knee problems, so I noticed he used the machine a lot. So when I said, hey, let's get back on the machine, but let's do, you know, a body part that I wouldn't really think I would necessarily need it, because we talk about me not having injuries. So I said, hey, why would I need the Neubie machine, right? But it's beneficial to get that extra firing, especially for my right leg. It's definitely a weakness, definitely something that I want to try to correct, because listen, it affects everything. I mean, every day I do my cardio, I can feel that right leg. And, you know, with the leg training, I really want to learn how to get that muscle connection. And I think this definitely will give that the benefit.
How was that for you today?
Oh, it was great.
Big smile on your face the whole time.
I'll be texting tomorrow the next day. Like, are you sore yet?
So his whole goal was to, he's like, listen, everyone for some reason, they want to be able to say, fuck, I destroyed Jay Cutler, right? So he's like, I just want you to be sore. I want you to, you know, because for the shoulders, like, I felt like it did a lot of benefit, but I wasn't super sore, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are super sore after using the Neubie machine, but I think I trained hard enough that I don't get as sore, even though I remember, like, you remember the days where I used to complain for 4 days being sore.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, we're going to see what tomorrow brings. And like you said, what I would like to do on the next time is, like we talked about, do the hamstring quad and then maybe focus on that right leg, because we know the discrepancy now. And the pump is there. You know, the veins are popping out.
You still got those legs.
Yeah.
I still got them. He'll never lose them, I don't think, yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for taking some time out of your day. I know you're super busy, and Andrew. So are you, Jay.
He's the busiest guy at Fit Club.
He's so
man,
busy.
You know, so you guys ought to check him out.
He's on his feet for 14 hours a day.
You know, he's listening. He's doing a lot of stuff online. You know, all you guys from overseas, or if you're here, you know, throughout the States, like, make sure you guys hit him up. It's got a lot of good answers for your questions.
How can they reach you? We'll put the Instagram in there, but give your Instagram.
Yeah, just my first and last name, Andy Velcich.
Yes, we'll put that in there.
We'll spell it correct. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks to Club for hosting us here today. All right.